David Beckham is back in the UK and it's time for him to save our squad.
I grew up in East London. This is where it all began for me. That's why I'm back. Westward Boys, they are the team at rock bottom.
We're losing constantly.
8-0, 9-0.
Oh, that's not good. If we can't turn our fortunes, then we will be relegated.
Hello and welcome to Screen OD, the channel for people who love TV, movies and streaming. My name is Tim. I'm an editor and a journalist who has been writing and talking about the media industry for more than 15 years. And today we are talking about a returning hero for anyone who likes football or soccer. If you're in the USA, David Beckham is one of the biggest names in modern British football. And he's not just back in the UK, he's back here to save our squad. But what does that mean? For those of you who are fans of both football over here and entertainment over there, and maybe underdog stories somewhere in the middle, you'll know that there's been a few of these recently. We had, of course, at Dulwich Hamlet, we had Peter Crouch turn up to save our beautiful game on Discovery Plus, and then probably more high-profilely and certainly one of my favourite shows in this format ever, and one of my favourite shows of the year so far, watch the review up there, was Welcome to Wrexham, which of course had Deadpool himself, Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney going to the North Welsh town, buying the club and trying to turn around the National League side. You can find out more of what happened there by watching the show. But today we're talking about David Beckham, who is going back to his old stomping ground to try and fix things in a youth team.
I'm back where I belong.
All right, boys, what are the things that you know about me?
I swear you missed the penalty.
I missed a couple of penalties. You probably don't know, I played in this league. I was you guys.
Right, so what's this one all about? Well, Westward Boys are a youth team who play in the Echo League in East London, which, you wouldn't believe it, is the same one that David Beckham used to play in when he was a lad. And this is the story of David Beckham going back to his roots and trying to help a team who are really struggling, and they weren't always struggling, but they are struggling now. He wants to help these young boys become the best that they can be. Yes, it's a heartwarming story, an underdog story, and it's about football, it's about entertainment, and it's on Disney Plus, so it's got a feel-good feel to it.
When I was your age, I was always picked last.
Kuro.
Because I was the smallest. How do you pull these kids into success?
1 minute.
Every one of you has a part to play in. Every one of you. This game is not over.
So the problem that Westward Boys have is that ever since they got promoted to the Premier Division of the Echo League, they haven't won a game. And so they need to turn things around. And that's not because they don't have some great coaches, because they do have some great coaches who feature very heavily in this show. And it's not because the boys aren't talented, because they clearly are very good at football. But is it because they can't work as a team? Is it because they need to be inspired by a world-class professional athlete, someone who has experience at every level of the game? Yes, that's exactly what it is, and that's exactly what we get in this show. Now, it's one of those programs that, of course, makes the star of it, in this case, David Beckham, come across pretty well. How can you not come across well when you're coming down from the clouds to be part of a small-time setup to try and help people get the best out of themselves? And it's got to be noted that, indeed, this is co-produced with David Beckham's own production company, so there was always very little chance that he would come out of it looking anything except good. However, what you do get from this show is a genuine sense of him caring about the people that he's working with. And although David Beckham, of course, is the star at the centre of this, what becomes quite obvious quite quickly is that the young people and the coaches who live every day of being the Westward Boys team are the real stars of this show.
It's part of the game. It's just how you deal with it. It's about who you are as a person, outside the game as well.
Wow. You know how powerful that is?
I want the boys to be inspired.
Let's go.
To be uplifted. I want them to win.
Yes, at the heart of this story is not that of David Beckham. We know that he's done all right, and we know that, yes, he may feel a bit nervous as he first comes into the show, or so he says, but really what we care about, the thing that keeps us coming back, the thing that draws you into this show, is exactly the same thing that drew you into Welcome to Wrexham. It's not the story of Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney. We know that they've done well already, and really, whether or not things work out for them, well, you know, it would be good to see it all go well. well, but what you care about are the people, the real people, the people whose community this is, the people whose lives this is about. And this is the story of young people with dreams, with hopes, people who want to go and become the biggest footballer in the world, but also their families around them. And these are the people, the stories that we start to hear, the lives that these people live, the way that football has bonded them together and keeps driving them forward. That's the thing that's really cool about this show, and that's the thing that will make you want to keep watching it.
This team is a community.
Thanks for the advice.
You're welcome. He's such a sweet kid.
Don't ever lose that passion.
In the word impossible, it says I'm possible.
That's how football can be.
No, this is the story of kids like Orlando. This is the story of the under-14s team that has people like Fred in goal. It has goal scorers like Rio and Ethan. This is a team that has people like Vaughan playing for it. And it's their stories and it's their lives that you start to be interwoven into when you start watching this show. And at the centre of it, you also have two very, very passionate coaches in the shape of Addy and Edwin. These are two people that you can't help but immediately like. Not because they're just nice people and they come across very well, but because of the passion that they have for what they do. They're not getting paid millions of pounds. They're not people who are normally on the telly being filmed. These are people who week in, week out, they trudge through the cold, through the snow, through the rain, in the worst conditions to make sure that the team do the best that the team can do, because they care about the young kids in the team and they care about football. And that's something that just comes through in every element of this show. When you take a step back and you forget the glitz and the glamour, you see something which is really important, which is that football is at the heart of these communities. Football is something that brings people together and it gives people hope. Even when they're feeling down, it gives them a reason to keep going. And that's why this is such an inspiring programme to watch.
Bendy like Beckham. Oh!
Now, there are cynics out there who might look at this show and say it treads the wrong side of the line between inspirational, motivational, and perhaps saccharine sweet. And I think it does a pretty good job of staying on the right side. Yes, David Beckham is unbelievably inspirational in this show, but when you see the reaction of the lads and you also see some of the fun and some of the joviality that happens around the team, it all starts to come together. Now, this is a show that you probably want to like football if you're going to watch, and you probably want to like David Beckham, because I think if you don't like either of those things, it might be quite hard yards for you. But if you do like both those things, and you like the kind of underdog story, and you especially like to see young people being inspired, then this is a show that I think you should give a go. Save Our Squad is available to watch on Disney Plus right now. Thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll see you again for more Screen OD videos very soon.